My name is Suhani Desai, and this presentation is on the history of American space organizations. Also, this channel is part of a non-profit organization called One World, One Nation that strives to support children globally who lack educational resources or disadvantaged. By providing these students with an extended learning platform, they can explore their interests, build on their passions, and find a path to a career. Please subscribe to this channel and like this video to support our initiative. The information for organization is in the description box below. Since the 1950s, 72 countries have formed government space programs. There have also been a number of private space agencies that have been created. That is a lot of space agencies to cover in one lesson, so for this lesson, we'll just be discussing two of the major space agencies in the United States, NASA and SpaceX. First, we'll start with NASA. NASA stands for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Prior to its formation on October 1, 1958, the United States and the Soviet Union were in the middle of the Cold War. The Cold War was a period of tense conflict between the United States and the Soviet Union, lasting from the mid to late 1900s. Both countries threatened to release nuclear weapons, but neither did. It was a war without direct fighting, and it was a result of differing opinions about communism. In the late 1950s, the Soviet Union launched a satellite called Sputnik 1. It was during the heart of the Cold War, and Americans felt threatened. It was the first time anything had been sent into space, and it was just the beginning. Space was the final frontier, and it sparked a massive race to accomplish bigger and bigger missions in space. For example, sending people to orbit and the moon. This competition became known as the space race. Soon after the launch of Sputnik 1, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 2. The US later followed with a satellite of their own called Explorer 1. But what did these satellites enable the host countries to do? Sputnik 1 allowed the Soviet Union to find out the density of the atmosphere, along with allowing them to accomplish a number of other scientific experiments. Sputnik 2 brought scientific tools to space in order to complete further experiments and collect further data. It also carried Laika, a dog who was the first living organism to be sent into space. Explorer 1 was designed to measure radiation in Earth's orbit. It lasted a few months in orbit before burning up upon re-entry. The picture on the left is of Sputnik 1, the picture in the middle is of Sputnik 2, and the picture on the right is of Explorer 1. A year after the launch of Sputnik, NASA was formed. But why? The people of America felt that the government was not doing enough to win the space race. They felt that changes needed to occur within the government. This increased political pressure led to the formation of the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, or NACA. It was a non-military agency that advised on issues about space. NACA later turned into NASA because the government wanted to adopt a different mission for the agency involving the addition of more scientists. Through a series of programs, NASA progressed to send people into space and onto the moon. One famous program they created was the Apollo program. The goal of the Apollo program was to land humans on the moon. During the Apollo program, there was a total of 11 space flights made by astronauts. 6 of those flights landed on the moon, resulting in a total of 12 astronauts having walked on the moon. Besides the Apollo missions, NASA also partnered with other space agencies to build the International Space Station. Currently, they're working on a number of projects, including sending the next man and the first woman to the moon. Which brings us to our next space agency, SpaceX. SpaceX is a much newer organization than NASA. It's a non-government company that sometimes works with NASA. It was founded by Elon Musk in 2002. Elon Musk is an entrepreneur who is also the owner of Tesla. Through the creation of SpaceX, Musk hoped to make spaceflight cheaper through a variety of new concepts. One of its main goals is to establish a self-sustaining community on Mars. Similarities between Earth and Mars, such as the atmosphere and the chemical makeup, have helped to influence the technology that SpaceX is creating to establish a colony. They believe that a colony could be established on Mars by 2050. That's really fast. At that timeline, our generation would make up most of the people who helped make this mission happen, which is pretty exciting. One of SpaceX's ideas and technologies includes a reusable rocket. The reusable rocket is known as Falcon 9. It has been used multiple times successfully. According to SpaceX, rockets are the most expensive parts of a spacecraft, and by making them reusable, they've driven down the cost of spaceflight. Beyond the technology, SpaceX and Musk have done some pretty interesting things. One of them was sending a Tesla into space. Imagine a car floating past planets and solar systems. That's pretty cool. Recently, SpaceX launched humans to space for the first time. What's more is that it was the first time that people have launched from the United States in 9 years. They provided the US with the capability to send people to space from within the country. In addition, the successful launch was a major achievement for spaceflight and provides further innovation in the field. In the future, space organizations will be created and more innovation will take place. It will allow humans to discover things that they've never seen before. We will be the scientists, engineers, and explorers of the future, and I can't wait to see what we discover.